Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham. Many blessings to all you brethren out there teaching this word in all sincerity and truth. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and blessings to all you brethren teaching this word in all sincerity and truth. To the hopeful elect, the 144,000, the house of David, Shalom. It's the brother Damar Gabar here from GMS Los Angeles with another lesson. Lord willing to edify, the lambs of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And I'm gonna do this quick lesson, Lord willing, it'll be quick. But from the two through and info page, which is the elder brother Yashawamba out from Dallas, Texas, posted this video on this page, just basically dealing with the fatness of the earth by the sword, dealing with Esau Edom, the so-called white man. All right. And as I watched this video, numerous amounts of scriptures popped into my head, which I have a couple already set up to just, as this video goes and speaks, and it shows you the blessing of Esau and the fatness of the earth, that this devil has amassed through, the sword, through rape, robbery, deception, thievery, skullduggery, and ultimately by the sword is how this devil has amassed his huge fortune and control over the whole earth, and he's amassed all this wealth and, means by the bloodshed, by the sword, through wickedness and lies and deception and deceit. All right. Which, this video just further illustrates that fact and to show you the pride of these devils, man. But, we know ultimately everything that he has gotten, everything that he has swallowed down, he's going to vomit back up again. And all the stuff that he has stolen and built and amassed through these years through wickedness is all going to be stripped away from him, at the return of our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. So I'm just going to let this video play. I'm just going to go into the scriptures that I have set up, and Lord willing, you can be edified. And this just further points to the fact that this man, Esau Edom, is the devil. Now, in this video, it's talking about the queen, but it applies to all of these devils, all right? The same way that she got her fortune is the same way that the elite men and the dukes of Edom and the elite of the so-called white man has gotten their riches. She just happens to be sitting on a throne, which even her ancient forefathers and foremothers stole from the black nobility, which was the Israelites that was ruling, in Europe for 1,000-year period. After the fall of the Roman Empire, you had so-called Negroes, Benjamin, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi basically ruling Europe for 1,000 years, man. And these devils, after, the bubonic and the Black Death came and decimated 2/3 of our people, and Esau started to gain rule, after that deadly wound was healed, and he, through the Renaissance period, came back into power after, he basically took down Jake and basically set himself in the position, and sat on the thrones that so-called Negroes had set up during the Dark Ages over there in Europe. And these devils just moseyed themselves right on in those positions, erased all of the history. Well, not all of it, but they erased a lot of the history. They painted over a lot of the images. They rewrote the history and put themselves in the position of the nobility as being popes, as being, prime ministers and kings and queens, which you had Jake sitting over there in Europe for 1,000 years in the same position that these devils are sitting in, but they came through and wrecked shop with the sword and with lies and deception and set themselves in that position. So, enough talking. Just going to let this video play and go through some precepts and show you that this is the man of sin. This is the wicked that the Bible speaks of, and he's being revealed in his time. So I'm going to let this video play, and I'm going to pause it here and there and just bring out these precepts, and Lord willing, you're edified.
The queen, her gold carriage alone is made of 4 tons of solid gold, worth over $370 billion at today's gold prices. The Bank of England Nominees Limited was established to hide the Queen's investments. Secrecy about her wealth protects her. Government and banking officials inform the Queen about where to invest her wealth. That's called insider trading, and it's illegal. But the Queen gets away with it scot-free. Why? Because she's the Queen, and she's immune to prosecution.
Right, because they're Esau, and this is their rulership, They're not in trouble like other men. These devils are above the law, laws which they have created that rule over the people don't apply to them. They don't apply to the slaves and to the serfs. So they're basically able to literally get away with murder scot-free, man. This is James 5:1. It says, "Go to now, ye rich men, Weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. You see, so they're showing you, all the ill-gotten gains of these Edomites, these so-called white people. But the scriptures tell you that that they're not going to get away scot-free, man. When you go to the crown jewels and all this wealth that Esau has amassed through slavery, through deception, through drug trade, through drug selling, drug distributing, destroying whole nations, that they're not basically, that they're going to get paid back for it, and their miseries are coming upon them, because nobody gets away scot free, especially with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It says your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth eaten. You see, so all of their riches are ultimately corrupted because they gotten them through ill-gotten gains, through lying, through deceptions, through playing, funding both sides of wars, to, pillaging and raping and making deals, and and not honoring those deals. However this devil got his riches, they're all corrupted, because they all is blood money, man. It's blood fortune, blood billions, blood. They all got it through the shedding of the blood and through corruption, man. It says your gold and your silver is cankered. Yeah, so that golden chariot you rolling in, that gold, yeah, it's real gold. It's nice and it's fancy and it's very worth billions of dollars. Which that one carriage alone could, basically pay off the debt that all of all the countries around the world. Pretty much, it can definitely put a dent in solving the debt problem and the homeless situation that a lot of these countries find themselves in. But these devils are not going to do that. So that even that gold chariot, the gold on it is cankered, because again, it's corrupted. It says your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. And that's what this devil has done, man. And all the shit that they have stolen, all the riches, all the properties, the mansions, the lands, all the countries that they rule over, it's all going to be a witness against them when it's time for them to be judged by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, because the Lord is going to judge them for how they gotten these things and what they did to get them. It says, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth. Yeah, everybody's crying out against these elites, man. Everybody's crying out against Esau, Edom in these last days, from all around the four corners of the earth, man. All these nations are crying and complaining about these elites, man. Whether it's in the Netherlands, whether it's in Switzerland, whether it's over there in London, even over here in America, and all the other commonwealths of the British Empire, and these countries that America rule over. They're all crying out against these damn devils, man. It says, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, which is the Lord of the armies, which is ultimately Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It says, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Yeah, like they said, the queen's getting all type of insider trading. All of her deals, her money is being managed and wickedly, man. Because these devils through the stock market, they control every aspect of the stock market. It's a rigged game, and they have all the, and they're the ones pressing the buttons. They're the ones that can, they already know when a certain stock is going to hit and when another is going to crash, when to buy, when to sell. And they say they show her where to invest her money, where to put this and that, and she pays no taxes on nothing, man. So it's all rigged, man, and it's all going to be held against them. So it says, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth, ye have been wanton, meaning undisciplined, because you've done it in by wicked means and with unjust measures and weights, man. It says, ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter, ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. See? And when this devil, going around the earth plundering and pillaging and raping and robbing and murdering, nobody could resist him because they didn't have the power to do it. Because the Lord blessed Esau with the power of the sword, and he took full advantage of it, man, to where he ran around even over here to the New World with the so-called, who you would call the Native Americans, which are the Southern Kingdom. The Latin tribes, he came over here and assaulted them, and they couldn't resist him. They tried to a certain point. But remember, his blessing was that sword, and he used it to take full advantage and to steal everything that he has.
The Queen owns more than 300 residences, including castles and palaces, crown jewels, over 27,000 masterpieces, prize racehorses, and a fleet of Bentleys and Rolls Royces. Her colossal wealth also includes crown land and investments that she inherited from her black nobility ancestors. The Queen's Crown Estate includes over 50% of the UK's coastline, as well as Regent Street and Windsor Great Park. Her trillions in wealth are passed down to her descendants, untaxed. Would British tourism collapse if the...
You see? And let's not forget about all those Commonwealth countries that they have total sole control over, like the Bahamas and Trinidad and Tobago and all these other places around the world that when the British set up shop, they conquered them, man. Even parts over here in America, they got their hands on, man. You see? So that's why she has that massive amount of wealth. She owns, national parks and 50% of the coastline and all these other countries, man, It says Micah 2:2, it says, and they covet fields. What does covet mean? It means to have a strong desire for it, man. To be desirous of. Here it is, the devil has everything, all the money in the world, all the power in the world, but he's still not satisfied, man. He wants your land and everybody else's land, man. It says, and they covet fields. Who are the they? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil. It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence. What do you think how the hell you think, they gain control over the Americas? How did they get this land from the North American Indians? How did they get control over in Africa? How did they get control of the other Commonwealth states over there in the Virgin Islands and Jamaica and, St. Bart's and whatever other lands that they went over there and conquered and took and stole for themselves, man? They took them by violence. They didn't take them by peace. They didn't take them with negotiations. They didn't win it in a dice game. They went and took it by violence, man, with the sword. It says, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage, just like he went over there to Australia. Why do you think they all over there speaking with a British accent, man? Because the devil went over there and put a foot up their ass and conquered them and turned it into a commonwealth, turned it into basically made it a tributary to the crown, man. It's the same reason why we're over here speaking English, man. It's the same thing, And this old lady has inherited all of it, man. And then what it say? She can pass it down to her descendants. Now, Prince Harry, I saw a video. He just inherited I forget how, $37 billion inheritance. I think it was some type of land and a castle. As soon as she dropped dead, man. You see, and it's all blood money. It's all gotten through ill-gotten gains, and it was passed down to her sons and grandsons, man. But it's all going to be snatched away at the return of our Lord and Savior Yahushua HaMashiach, man. All right. Like I said, nobody's getting away scot-free. This devil's going to pay for every single ounce of gold and every piece of, every drop of blood that they shed on this planet, man. Especially the blood of the Israelites.
Abolished? No, statistically, Buckingham Palace doesn't even make the top 20 list of tourist attractions.
Do you know how much the Queen is worth? 17 trillion pounds. That's $13 trillion. She could end world hunger and poverty tomorrow.
Besides insider trading and tax-free income, the slave trade and drug trade. Queen Elizabeth I...
See, the slave trade and the drug trade, man. This is how this devil has amassed a huge fortune that he has gotten, man. All right? These people are the men of sin. All right? They're the harbingers of death, man. They're, criminals in the flesh, man.
Started the British slave trade in 1564. As head of the Church of England, her slave trading of African blacks upset the moral foundations of the church. Queen Elizabeth II is now head of the Church of England. 200 years after the slave trade was abolished, the church was pressured into confessing its horrific crimes and apologizing for profiting from the African slave trade. At first, the Queen and the Church only admitted to owning slaves and plantations, but the public soon discovered that the Church had given their blessing to something far worse. The Church had approved the beating, mutilation, rape, kidnapping, and murder of tens of millions of Africans by declaring that Africans had no soul.
Right, which it wasn't Africans, those were Israelites, man. All right. So they're all guilty, man. They're all got blood on their hands. They're all a bunch of savage. They're the real savages, man. All right. And they've gotten themselves numerous amounts of wealth, man. Wealth beyond putting a number on, man. And it said that, yeah, we apologize. That apology wasn't sincere, because if they were truly sorry for what they did, they would have, they would have made amends, man. They would have gave that shit back, or they would have made reparations to those people and everywhere that they went and raped, robbed, and pillaged, man. But they're not going to do that, man. Even if they did do it, it's still not going to, it's still not going to, excuse them from the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. Oh shit, you're still gonna get what you got coming unto you, man. Fuck. Damn it. I already had these already lined up, but now I pressed that button and fucked it up. Here we go. This is Zechariah 11:5. It says, whose possessors, let me read it. Let me see. It says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Yeah, just like they got the green light from the church to beat the hell and to slaughter so-called the Israelites. All right. They said that they didn't have no soul, so they basically gave them the green light, to kill and maim the Israelites, man. Through the doctrine of discovery. If you get a chance, Google the doctrine of discovery. And this was all done through so-called white Catholicism, white Christianity, and the so-called Christianity of the so-called white man. And you had the queen, got the green light from the church to say, look, those people are nothing. They're animals. They're savages. They don't have no souls. So you can beat and maim and rape and kill and do whatever the hell you want to do unto them, man. And then maybe you can civilize them afterwards. But as far as you going over there and doing whatever the hell you got to do to gain control over that land and over those people, it's okay. They basically said that it was ordained by God, which it was, as far as the punishment of the nation of Israel. But this devil took it too damn far, man. He helped forward our affliction, man. You see, it says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Yeah, they gave an apology because ultimately in their eyes, they felt like they didn't do anything wrong, man. They felt, look, hey, it's our time now. It's our manifest destiny. It's our time to rule. So whatever we do to these niggas, it don't matter. There are no people. They're nothing, And as long as as long as they're not Christians and they don't believe in our God and white Jesus, then guess what? Whatever we do unto them is of no consequences, man. And that's why they still, unto this day, have not given you niggas any form of reparations whatsoever, and they're not gonna do it, man. True reparations is gonna come when Yahweh Shai returns and we get our hands on these damn devils, man. It says, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. You see. So these devils said, look, man, after all that we have done, hey, we rich as hell, man. We had these niggas in slavery for centuries. Look at all this money we amassed. Look at all this free labor that we got. Look at this 200-year head start of gaining wealth and riches and status. We've afforded ourselves, man. And she doesn't give a damn. They don't feel sorry about you niggas. They don't give a damn about you niggas, man. That's why still unto this day, they still look at you as a soulless animal and a beast. That's why they're doing what they're doing to you. That's why they, treat you the way that they treat you.
This gave the church a divine license to profit from their diabolical crimes. Even more lucrative than Queen Elizabeth's slave trade was Queen Victoria's drug trade. Opium was grown and manufactured in the British-owned opium factories of British India. China banned the import.
See, why the hell do you think it's called British India? Because they went over there to India and they conquered them heathens too, man. They went over there to Moab and Ammon. They went over there and whooped their asses too. You see, everywhere they went, they left a trail of ass whoopings, man. And they used that sword to gain the fatness of the earth and the advantage over all people.
Of opium, but once the British monarch secured a drug trade monopoly, over 17,000 illegal chests of opium worth millions were forced onto the Chinese population. The British waged 3 drug wars on China to force them to pay for the illegally imported opium. China's emperor didn't stand a chance against the British East India Company gunboats and Royal Navy. The British destroyed, plundered, looted, and raped their way along the coast of China until there was nothing left to loot or plunder.
See, and that's this devil's MO, man. He can never be satisfied, man. He can never have enough, man. You know, he has an insatiable appetite, man. And then he went over there and whooped ass and then took over that whole opium and that drug trade, man. And he did the same thing over here to you so-called Negroes over here in the West, man. Once he got, he went over there to the Latin American countries with Bill Clinton, and they were selling guns for the cocaine over there in South America, and they brought it over here, to the Americas in Miami and in Florida and Chicago, and they brought it over here to the West Coast, and that's when they started the whole crack era, man. And flooded crack all throughout you so-called Negroes' neighborhoods, man, and made billions of dollars while doing it, man. And then started locking you, Jake, up, for selling the same drugs that he flooded into your neighborhood to destroy you for generations, man. You can't tell me this man is not the devil, man. He's simply and purely the devil and the wicked, man. This is Ezekiel 28:4. It says, with thy wisdom and with thy understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. Didn't they do that over there with the opium trade with the Japanese? Didn't he do the same thing over there over there in Latin America? With the tribes over there, He did the same thing over there in Afghanistan when they was growing those poppy fields, man. And what did he do with it? He grew those poppy fields. He took control of it, and he got all these, middle class white Americans strung out on all these goddamn medical, on these opioids, man. All these pill popping and pill sniffing, oxycodone and Xanax and all these other fucking drugs, man. So this man is the international smuggler, international drug dealing, willing and dealing, demon, man. And this has been his whole MO. This is how he's been doing on this earth, and he ain't stopping no time soon, man. It says, by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches, you see? And this devil was walking in all of his pride through all of this shit, man. But he'll, paint a whole different picture and act as if, he's trying to play the hero. He's trying to stop drugs. He's trying to have a war on drugs. Nigga, you are the war on drugs, man. Because it's all part of your plan. It says merchandise, traffic, trade. Merchandise. It says trade as peddled. And what do you peddle, man? You peddle drugs, man. You peddle opium. You peddle cocaine. You peddle crack. You peddle opioids and pharmaceutical pills. This guy is the ultimate drug dealer and the drug seller on the earth, man. It says what? By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. You see? It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. Behold, therefore, I will bring strangers upon you. Yeah, like a lot of these nations that you done did dirty, that you then went to their countries and raped and pillaged and oppressed their heritage. And you, destabilized their countries. You turned turned their men into homos and their women into whores. You flooded these countries with drugs and opioids and democracy and all other manner forms of wickedness, man. The Lord's going to put the spirit on them in these last days to get their lick back on you, man. All these nations are licking their chops to get a piece of your red ass, man, because they haven't forgotten what you have done to them, It says, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. You see? So all these nations basically have a vendetta and a get back to get on your red ass, and the Lord's going to allow them, to get a piece of you, man.
On August 29, 1842, the Treaty of Nanking forced the Chinese government to pay 15 million pounds to the British merchants to open up its ports to opium trade and to cede Hong Kong to the British. This was the ugly origin of Hong Kong's 155...
They covered fields and taken by force. So now Hong Kong is a British territory, man. And they set up shop. Same thing they did over there in Africa, man. Same thing they did over there in the Middle East. Same thing they did over here in the Americas, man. These Edomites, man. These so-called white people, whether they call themselves British, French, Dutch, German, Spanish, whatever they call themselves, man. They all are Edomites, man. All of them at the top go back into the, the Dukes of Edom, man. And they've raped, plundered, and stole every goddamn thing on this planet, man. But the time is coming to where they're about to vomit all of this shit up, man. It was all a temporary ride, and their judgment is about to come down upon them.
5 years as a stolen British Crown colony.
There are people who believe that they have a God-given right to rule over others. They believe that their outward appearance is
right. That's why they, they deceived the whole world by calling themselves so-called white people, man. And they've used that social construct to rule and to set themselves up as being the superior people on the planet Earth, even to the fact to where a certain sect of them call themselves the biblical Jews or Jewish, man. Which there's nothing Jew, they can call themselves Jewish all they want, but they're not the Israelites. They're not the chosen ones. They're the wicked ones, man. They're the chosen ones on the left-hand side, man. The most proud. And the Lord got something for their ass. All right. Let me get this. No. It's not what I want. Here we go. It's Isaiah 24. I'm going to read up a little bit. It says, fear and the pit and the snare are upon thee, O inhabitants of the earth. And this is what's ultimately coming unto Esau, especially as he's trying to bring in this new world order. Little does he know that he's basically setting a snare for his own soul, man. And the Lord has set him up to be judged for all of the crimes and the wickedness that he has done on this earth ever since the very beginning, since he came, in the spirit of the serpent and through the spirit of Cain, which was reincarnated through back in the earth, the same spirit which is in Esau. It says, and it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, which are these elites, because they're going to escape the nuclear holocaust, the second death, which is the nuclear missiles that's going to destroy all of America, and that's going to destroy basically everything that he has built. But these elites are going to be preserved from that. They're going to be in their bunkers and different remote parts of the earth that's not going to get hit by the missiles, or in these space stations, or wherever the Lord sees fit to have these elites, dodge the missiles to be the first crop of slaves in the kingdom of heaven, man. It says, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare, which is Esau. All right. Who's going to be the ones going to come out of the pit? Are these elites in these different bunkers and different places where they're hiding? After the dust settles and the nukes hit, they're going to be gathered out of these. They're going to be gathered as prisoners out of the pit. It says, for the windows from on high are open and the foundations of the earth do shake. Yeah, because the Lord's going to allow the nuclear missiles to hit this place. It says, the earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly, because when all these missiles hit the earth, especially here in America, it's going to cause the earth to shake. It's going to be that great earthquake where those 12 FEMA regions are going to be ultimately destroyed. In different parts of the earth, the land of Israel, parts of Russia, parts of China, different parts of the earth are going to be hit with these nukes, man, but it's not going to destroy the whole earth. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day. It says, and the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgressions thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again, which is dealing with Esau's kingdom, his rulership, everything that he has built, all of his skyscrapers, his monuments, his buildings, his government buildings, NATO headquarters, the World Economic, the Pentagon, all this bullshit that he has built is never going to rise up again. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. And who is the king of the earth right now is Esau, Edom. This video was showing you the kings of the earth, the royal family, the Rothschilds, these high up Edomites that rule the earth, that's control of the banking system, the financial institutions, those three frogs, it says, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit. So this is the fate of the kings of the earth. All right. This is why the elite are going to escape the nuclear judgment to be the first crop of slaves, man. All right, they're going to work. They ain't worked in centuries, but guess what? They're going to work in the kingdom of heaven. They're going to be, digging up, burying dead bodies. They're going to be, getting their backs whipped. They're going to be, building up our kingdom, just like we had to build up their fucking shitty kingdom. They're going to be put to work, and they're going to be whipped, and they're going to be punished, and they're going to have to pay for what they have done. It says, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. See? So these devils are not going to get away scot-free, and they're going to be paid back for their pride.
Superior to all others.
Yeah, see, that's the host of the high ones that are on high. And the Lord's going to show them just how non-superior they are. The only reason they're on high is because we had to serve our punishment because we sinned against the Lord, man. But once, the elect is sealed and Yahushua returns and the elect are changed and are forgiven, hey, it's going to be time for these devils to pay, man. And all the curses that we had to suffer are going to be put on their asses, man.
They harbor selfish ambitions to be rich and to have power over what they describe as common people. They lie, cheat, steal, strangle, stab, and slash their way to power. They believe that their actual willpower, what the British occultist Aleister Crowley described as the will of Thelema, the royal will, must be obeyed. Literally millions of people have been slaughtered at the behest of the royal lust for war. And thousands of people have been assassinated so that demonic dukes and killer queens can reign supreme.
See, and that's Esau Edom, the so-called white man. And he's going down, man. That's why there's so much shameful spewing being brought upon his glory, because we're at the end of his reign where he's about to be judged and taken down by the return of our Lord and Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach, man. Hey, so with that, Lord willing, you were edified. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushua for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Lord willing, you were edified. Shalom.